what we actually saw this year, that there was a huge peak that we could not foresee, and that we could not arrange something for in time. I think it was in August that we experienced a lot of reactions from prospective students saying, "Oh, I've been doing so much and they couldn't help me, and I think I've been doing more than 300 applications and I never get invited even." And that was the moment that we thought, hey, this is really serious. This is much more serious than it was in the previous years, because getting a room has always been a bit difficult.
Yeah.
I mean, anyone who wanted to get accommodation here might have experienced it. But this year we experienced rather late that the influx of new international students mainly grew so hard that it would be really hard to accommodate for. And having enough student accommodations in the region available for them. In normal situations, you can basically lay out a schedule. This is what I will experience in June, this is what I will experience in July, this is what I will see in August. And because of all the uncertainties that come with COVID-19, that was really hard this year. And what we also think is that Brexit might have influenced our influx numbers, as it is less interesting for international students to study in the UK. There are new barriers to study there, which makes a country like the Netherlands, with a lot of studies being offered in English, of course, a lot more popular, and made a lot of people also choose for the Netherlands. So over in the whole country, that gave a huge extra influx, and basically all student cities are experiencing this kind of problems this year. I mean, imagine if you're going to a new country. You don't know about the culture, you don't know how the things work, and you have to find your way around there and find something basically really important like accommodation, then that's going to be really hard. I mean, if I have to find something in Barcelona or if I have to find something in Vienna, then I would experience difficulties too.
Yes.
And in the end, I might get there, but it would be difficult for me too. And that's what you see here, of course, too, is it's already difficult in itself, and with a housing shortage, it's basically becoming a more huge problem. The difficulty in this situation is that as a university we do feel responsible for student housing, but in the end we are not, and we don't say that because we don't want to be, but basically we can't be. When you look at our finances, for instance, the national government does not allow to use our financial means for student accommodations. So if we see the problem there, then there's only limited that we can do based on these regulations and the responsibility that we have. So we always have to work together with other companies, with housing providers, with the city, also with the surrounding cities, and we really need to work together there. And I think once the news was on the street, basically it was out, it was a lot in the media, then there was a lot of energy in the Twente region to say, okay, this is such a big problem. Also from a more company perspective, there were a lot of companies in the Twente region who said, it would be a waste if we have to let 500 students just take off because they can't get student accommodations, while at the same time we really need all these talented people just to come in and be part of a community. In August, we sent an email to all first year students, everyone who wants to enroll in bachelor and master, pre-master, but also exchange students. And we said, look, the situation is rather difficult at the moment to find something. If you have been doing everything in your ability and you still haven't found, you should consider, should I come or not? And that was a warning to prevent people from just thinking, okay, I didn't find anything, but if I just go there and I book a hotel room for 3 nights and then I'm there and I should be fine, And our worst image would be that these people would just have to live on the streets afterwards because they can't afford for their hotel room anymore. So that's why we wanted to warn them for. But there were not a lot of students who then thought, hey, I'm not going to study anymore. They were really dedicated to becoming a student here. And that's of course was something that was really nice for us to see. There were not a lot of students who said, okay, then I'm not going to come. There were a few indeed, but in the end there weren't so much. It's a problem that exists in the private space of students and not really in their study area. So we don't have the full insight in what's happening there, but we do expect that there are currently around 150 students who are looking for a more permanent solution than they're having now.
Yeah.
If you graduate here, you get a job and you want to get a house, and you won't be able to get one. That's really a big problem.
Of course.
So in a way, we do feel connected, as this is an issue that is an issue for young people like the students at the university, and it directly affects, of course, also what's available in student housing. If students can't make the next step on the housing market, and they will have to stay in their student rooms, then this will prevent others from coming in. So in the end, this is a full chain of people moving from one house to another, and if that's being obstructed anywhere along the chain, then people who are basically at the start of finding their own house will suffer. And that's also what we probably see here, is that a lot of students, a lot of graduates still live in their student room because they can't find anything else at the moment, and they're basically preventing other students from moving in. If you look at the process of realizing student housing, that normally takes years. We only noticed in August, and on the 1st of September, or around the 1st of September, of course, the academic year starts, so there was little time to do something. We were only managing to get some solutions there, accommodate for a group of maybe 150 students. Of course, for our feeling, it's always too slow. We rather have it tomorrow than the day after.
Of course.
But this, can't get everything as fast as we really like.
Yeah, that's true.
From the long term, there are plans for housing being realized, and that's also rather in line with the development of student numbers for the upcoming period. So the outlook is rather positive in that way, that we are realizing new housing that will accommodate for the group that might be coming. But we really might want to reevaluate if our predictions for the future are still as realistic as we always thought they are. I'm sure that in the upcoming weeks or month, we will definitely be looking into those again and see if we are doing sufficient there. I'm definitely sure that we will have their information about what's the housing situation, what's the best you can do. So when it comes to those communications to prospective students, we really need to step up there. What a lot of houses are looking into is having a right balance between groups. They don't want to have an overkill of specific groups. Some houses even only want guys in their house, and that's fine, and there's houses that only allow girls and some want mixed. So not all offers are open for all, and that's fine. But in the end, the diversity should be in the full arrangement of housing, of course. That everyone should be able to find something there. But yes, gender does matter for some housing, but in the end, overall, it should really matter. Having the discussion in itself is already really helpful in understanding the problem, but also the underlying problems behind the visible problem. So that really helps. So in that way, it's always a good way to be in touch with each other, to communicate, to show feelings. And what we've also seen is that there were students who saw the problems, and then they thought, hey, we can provide a solution ourselves. From ESN Twente students, they set up a housing matchmaking service, and they mainly use social media to get in touch with students and get in touch with potential houses that they could live in. So also in that way, that's really the social in social media. From all the media attention that there was, we saw that a lot of energy came free, and that generated a lot of public awareness and also public energy of saying, okay, this is a serious problem, we want to do something about it, we want to help the university and anyone else involved. That's what we really saw there, and that was really amazing to see there.